You seem uncomfortable. Do it make you nervous, Corky?
No.
Thirsty, maybe.
Curious, maybe.
That's funny. I'm feeling a little bit curious myself.
Why are you here? Vengeance? You want to wring remorse from my body like a wet rag? Punish and torment me with nightmares for the crimes I've committed? Because you will get nothing from me, demon. There are no nightmares you can show me that will compare to the ones I've been seeing my entire life. I understand your anger, but I won't change a thing.
Welcome to Pleasers.
And Punishers.
Where we talk about movies that people love to watch.
Movies that ruin your today, tomorrow, and yesterday.
And all things kinky and queer.
I'm Caitlin of the North.
I'm May. I want people to be happy. Schultz.
And I'm Amanda Jane Stern, here to seek vengeance on men.
And today we're discussing, now here's where girlfriends come in hand, especially those that understand. Crime's a crime, but listen, man, really cannot give a damn. We've all been through this kind of thing. Say the word and make it sting for him. He can't just get away with it. Eye for eye, you piece of shit. You treat us like a garbage pit. Let me at him. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. We're discussing a Wounded Fawn, everyone. Welcome to our second season opener.
That was incredible. What song was that?
Revenge by Pink.
Oh, excellent.
Thank you.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Talk over it.
I was like,
you're allowed to talk.
I know these lyrics, and it was like, why do I know that? But that's one of those like deep cut Pink singles that like that I used to love that no one really knows about. So yay.
Now, hopefully more people know about it. It's wild. And hopefully more people know about this movie because it kind of dropped on Shudder, and I feel like it wasn't like a huge thing.
Shame.
So, shame.
Shame.
A Wounded Fawn, directed by Travis Stevens, co-written by Stevens and Nathan Fawdry, starring Sarah Lind and Josh Ruben. Music by Wall.
Vol.
Oh, it's Vol with a V.
Yeah,
Wait.
it's
Oh, you know
Yeah.
the way you wrote that down, I was gonna say Vol,
that's so
but for some
fucking
reason when you
funny.
said Wall.
it's
with-
it's what it
you're-
says on their Bandcamp page, like wall
That
but with
is
a
so
V.
funny. Not like vodka.
Yes.
Music by Vol.
There we go. And they're a non-binary musician
Vodka.
who I am just kind of in love with. But if we are the Erinys, the Furies, then I suppose you could say our guest is our victim. He is a horror writer and pop fiend, the co-founder of High Queerness, a nonprofit rooted in queer creativity and resistance, and a psychologist with a PhD. Please welcome Ari Drew.
Hello, everyone.
Thank
Thanks
you for
having
joining
me.
us.
Yeah, it's great to be here. I've been listening to a few episodes in prep, and it just sounds like you have so much fun. So I'm excited to have some fun.
Yeah, honestly, that's our goal. Have fun, maybe make each other cry sometimes.
Does happen.
And laugh a lot.
Does happen frequently.
As the victim here, yeah. The named victim, yeah. Totally, I'm okay if you make me cry, yeah.
Okay,
Great,
good.
we'll do it.
Well, let's start with a relatively easy question. Would you go out of town with someone for a second date if none of your friends had met them?
Speak for
I wouldn't
facts.
do it even if my friends had met them. I'm just gonna be really clear about this.
That's like at least 5 dates in. I want to have spent enough time with this person
Yeah.
to be relatively sure they're not going to murder me.
This is like a month and a half at least in. Maybe I've run a background check on you.
Of course you know how to do that.
Oh, I know how to do that
very
so
easy.
well. It's really easy.
Amanda, I may hit you up for that in the future if needed, just to check my P's and Q's, make sure I'm safe.
I'm really good at running background checks, actually.
So what about you, Ari? Would you do it?
A version of me probably would have back in the day, the reckless, impulsive, like, it's fine, it's an adventure, and if I die, it must be my time or something, right? Like, that was kind of my 20-somethings mentality. Pushing 40, yeah, right, totally YOLO, but pushing 40 now, absolutely not. And if I went even just to, like, a dinner somewhere, I'm sending my location to a good friend, I'm giving this person's name, like, no, in this day and age, you just can't.
I do check-ins with my friends, even on first dates that I go on, like, in public. And I always let people know, like, I'm going back to my place with them, or I'm going back to their place. I am not taking any fucking chances. Dating is scary enough. Dating as a queer person can be extra scary, and dating as a trans person is even scarier. I can't even imagine what it's like for trans women of color. Like, it's just... people are terrible, and it sucks that we have to be that careful. But speaking of being careful, let's get into some role play.
Is that your bathing suit? Is that your overbite?
Now, one of you will be the drowning victim, and the other one gets to be our lifesaver.
I'll be the victim. All your life.
At an auction house, Kate wins the bid on behalf of her client for a statue of the Wrath of the Erinys, also known as the Furies, much to the dismay of Bruce, who follows her home and tries to offer her even more money on behalf of his client. Bruce sees a giant, red, owl-like figure that seems to silently command him to murder Kate, which he does using a bog knock. This is an Indian weapon that was used by assassins long ago.
Can I just say, I also didn't know what this was called, this instrument. It's very, like, Mortal Kombat. Like, you would expect, like, one of the characters to use that
like
in this.
Vega?
Yes.
Like
That's Street Fighter, but yes.
Oh, Street Fighter. Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
No, and Vega has kind of like Wolverine claws.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
very Wolverine.
You're thinking of... Fuck, what's his name in Mortal Kombat? I can't remember. Whatever. So... Bruce kills Kate using a bog knock, which is an assassin's tool in India because it would look like a tiger had attacked the person rather than someone had assassinated them. And I just think that's really fucking cool. And I love that Travis went online and actually bought one of these to use in the movie.
Because there are so many tigers around wherever this is set.
It's New
In
York.
the continental United States.
I mean,
There you go.
it's supposed to be New York.
None of those exteriors are anywhere in New York City.
Fair.
New York on Earth 2, or something.
Yeah. Earth 2, starring Clancy Brown. This
Maybe
fall
Westchester.
on ABC. Or no,
I
was
mean,
it
no,
NBC?
Art Gallery
I can't
Land
remember.
really is New York, and the auction houses obviously are here, but none of those exteriors actually look like any block in any borough of it could maybe be Westchester.
Okay.
So I did my undergrad in New York, and I remember going on dates to, like, art galleries when I was in college.
Well, it's free. If
Yeah,
you do
it was
gallery
lovely.
night, gallery night is the best way to get drunk for free and to get free food.
That was always one of my faves, and I would go with, like, kind of older people who kind of knew it, so I didn't feel so out of my depth, and then I could pretend to be classy, even though I was, like, super trashy, just trying to get laid. Like, yeah, those were the days.
I love to go to gallery night, and sometimes I'll just walk up to people who are looking at art, and I'll start asking them questions.
You got to get into the world.
Coming up with really bullshit analysis.
God, Amanda, you were just born to be a femme fatale. You really were.
Highest order compliment.
It really is.
As Bruce masturbates into Kate's kitchen sink, we get an Act 1 title card. Meredith, an appraiser at an art museum. Is she an appraiser or a curator?
I think she's a curator.
Okay.
Yeah.
Meredith, a curator at an art museum, talks with her therapist about her abusive ex in, like, the most gorgeous therapist's office I have ever seen in my life.
Fantasy world.
I will say the
And-
fashion is on point for the art
yes.
world. Part of
And-
gallery hopping night is looking at the clothing and dressing up, and I love it.
So after this, Meredith sits with her two friends in the gallery at the museum where they work and discusses her progress.
Before that, I did love in the therapist's office where she asks Meredith, like, what have you learned? Or what? And she goes, I learned not to absolve men for their transgressions against me. And I'm like, there's the thesis right there.
You go, girl.
Yes.
We'll talk about it later, but I really do believe Travis Stevens made a fucking feminist masterpiece with this movie.
This is fully a feminist movie. It knows it is. This movie said, we're going to torture this piece of shit man for the last 40 minutes of a 90-minute movie. And I said, yes, please give me more. Thank you. And then my husband taunted him at the screen.
Yes, because Julian is the best.
Literally taunting him like, yeah, well, maybe you should just die. Oh, are you sad?
So, Meredith divulges her weekend plans to go out of town with a new guy she's seeing. And that guy turns out to be Bruce. No! He picks her up from her place, and on the drive, they talk about their pasts. At one point, Meredith wants to stop and get snacks at a cute little roadside thing, but Bruce insists that they head straight for the cabin as they drive under a bunch of literal red flags.
I like how he says, oh, the cabin's right nearby. This is broad daylight when he says that, and then it's nighttime when they get to the cabin, and Julian's like, that wasn't close. Liar.
No, that was easily 2 more hours of driving.
Like, that's a UTI. Thank you very
I was going to
much.
say, you have to hold it.
Yeah.
And the excuse for the like the darkness. Oh, well, it's just the woods. The woods are just dark. This is fine.
So the cabin is actually a beautiful modern house out in the remote woods, decked out in a bunch of incredible art. But as Meredith unloads her bags, she hears a voice tell her to leave and briefly sees Kate in the trunk. Inside, she recognizes the statue of the Erinys because it passed through her museum to establish provenance, and Bruce plays it off as if it's a recreation.
I feel like this is the point where it's like, I gotta go. I just was told to leave by a voice, maybe in my head, maybe not. It's really hard to say. But if I'm out in the woods and I hear leave, and then someone is obviously lying to me about some bullshit.
Oh, you mean he's not gaslighting her the entire movie? He's not a totally stand-up guy? He wasn't giving me flashbacks to the movie that I fucking made?
When you texted us that, I was like, oh, yes, I knew you were going to love this.
Yeah, I was like, why did no one tell me to watch this? I literally made a similar concept that instead of being mythology is sci-fi. Like, this is so my shit.
I have literally been trying to tell everyone to watch this movie for the last 4 years, and I have shown it to at least 6 people.
Doing the Lord's work.
Yes,
I think it's just it got dumped, and it's we've talked about 2022 being a weird year. I think that's part of what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As Bruce prepares dinner, Meredith puts on a 7-inch of Manfred Mann's song LSD, fucking rules, by the way, dancing around the room and drinking wine. She discovers empty photo albums on a shelf and a Polaroid of Bruce and a woman named Leonora, presumably his ex. The tone arm on the turntable lifts by itself, and something unseen hits the window so fucking hard that the screen pops off.
An empty photo album.
That.
Oh, that's
Someone's
the moment.
not a fan of the past.
I know. It's like, why would you even have an empty photo album on your shelves?
That was one of those when she's flipping through it too. I was just kind of like, girl. I mean, here is like if we're gonna like write off the voice outside saying leave as like whatever, I heard it. It's a what do you call it? Like audio pareidolia or something like that.
It's the woods. It was
Yeah.
just like
the woods.
It's just what the
leaves
woods
rustling.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah, totally. It's just the wind.
Absolutely.
But like
Leaves
this is like the
Sorry, that was for audio listeners. That was me doing
Was that your caption?
subtitles. Yes.
menacing rustling, right? You gotta add like a fun adjective to that.
Medicine. I have been the person to add closed captions to movies. So.
Oh, I want that to be my job, especially because I worked with a
needs to be a
theater
person.
company one time where I was not only asked to explain like the sounds and the music that were happening for a play that I worked on. This was an accessibility focused theater company. So they did multiple nights that were for hearing impaired people. they wanted me to describe the feeling of the sounds and really get into detail because I did a lot
that's
of
what
really
you do
important sound
with
work.
closed captions. You add descriptors.
But so much of the closed caption work and that is on streaming, that is even on physical media releases of things, is just like music indicating suspense.
So,
like, tell me what time signature it's in. Tell me that like, what instruments are playing. Do something like that. This is just something.
I was going to say ominous horns.
Right. Every streamer has different rules about their closed captions. So some are... The only thing I will ever give Netflix credit for is that they really have a person go through those closed captions, and you can tell because they are using adjectives. They are coming up with ways to describe the sounds, and it's also
eldritch squelching.
Right, and it's also perfectly timed. Hulu's are always a lagging delay. And it's really just the dialogue. Same with Max. There's usually, they don't have anyone on their back end, so it's whatever the movie or TV show is already coming with. So then that's the issue, is that sometimes, because it is a lot of work to do, you'll have a lot of people just go through these AI transcriptors, and those
you can tell.
You can. Here's the thing: when you are doing subtitles and closed captions, sure, you let the thing be generated so that you have a baseline to work with, and then you go line by line and fix the shit.
There are also plenty of transcription programs that have existed for years that don't use AI.
Yeah, use the old transcription
ones. They
services.
work better.
They do, and then but you still have to go through, and you still have to make sure. Okay, well, this is a name, so it's being spelled improperly, you know, and then also those things, they only look for the dialogue. They're not adding the closed captions for sound effect. That's specifically on the human to add.
Just like photos to an empty photo.
Meredith texts her friend. Is it Wendy that she's texting?
I have
I think,
no idea which friend she's texting.
Meredith texts one of her friends about the Erinys statue, and Bruce accidentally scares the crap out of her to let her know that dinner is ready. He talks at her about his culinary fascinations, and she asks about weird occurrences around the house, which puts him into a real misogynistic and asinine mood.
I was waiting for him to talk about wine at her.
Especially when she asks about Leonora.
Don't have to talk about my cooking, but I deserve conversation.
It would be nice to talk.
It would be nice to talk. Yeah, it's like, oh.
Well, you know, I was picking up all my culinary skills from Otto Lengi.
Like, if the spooky stuff already wasn't enough to get me to run, like, this kind of pretentious, annoying, like, self-aggrandizing shit is plenty more. I'm just like, okay, fuck you, dude. Like, no.
It's like, dude, shut up. Shut up.
Shut the fuck up, Doug.
Please.
I feel like it was a quick turn, too, like, just with the very obvious gaslighting. Like, there's a part of me that, like, reacted to Bruce in a way of, like, wow, you're really clunky. You're not even that good at this.
Oh, no. He is so full of himself, and he thinks he is so good at this just because he's been getting away with it.
Right.
But he's actually not.
He's a mediocre white man.
Which is funny because he's being played by Josh Ruben, who is, like, one of my favorite humans in existence.
And does this very well.
Yes. And follows me on Blue Sky.
Oh, hi, Josh.
Nice. Oh, maybe he'll listen to this episode.
He was supposed to.
I love that.
Get a repost.
I went to the Letterboxd reviews for this movie, and he left a review, 5 stars and a heart, and it's just, well, I loved it. And the first comment is Travis Stevens going, oh, thank God.
Yeah, I follow Travis on Letterboxd, and I love when he writes reviews. He is great.
Josh was supposed to be at
Josh's
Crypticon this
DMs.
year, so and then
Was he?
Yeah, and then he ended up canceling, and I was so
bummer.
bummed out. I was like, I may have been able to schlep myself earlier than I ended up that day.
I will gladly slide into his DMs. You know I have no shame.
Correct. And we love that about
More
you.
power to you. Love it.
I mean, Ari, I slid into your DMs.
And And you know what? I welcome it. I mean, if not, I may not always respond, but I welcome it.
I mean, how did I get on Joe Lynch's podcast? Slid into his DMs.
Nice.
What does it hurt, right? What's the worst thing
Right.
they can say is no or leave me alone.
Yeah,
or
as long
block
as you're
you.
not like
Or ignore
sending
you.
an unsolicited
Yeah.
dick pic.
Exactly, right? You're not sending like
Yep.
your tits out. When I mean, I don't think you did. That's
No, I didn't do that.
No, you gotta wait for at least the 5th text to
Exactly.
do
I
that.
gotta
Same,
wait
same as the
for
dating
them
pool.
to watch my movie, and
There you
then
go.
it's like, okay, you've worked up to it.
Okay, so these weird occurrences around the house begin to pile up, and Meredith suggests that they head back to the city, so she packs up her stuff. Her friend calls and tells her to get the hell out of there because of the statue being reported stolen and Kate being missing. Bruce sees the Red Owl again as the shade of Kate watches from outside. Bruce clumsily attacks Meredith, digging the claws of the Knockbog into her neck while the Red Owl observes. He burns her clothes, smashes her phone, and masturbates into the sink.
Classic
I was
guy.
gonna say it's his move.
yeah.
The sound of his cum hitting the stainless steel sink. Fucking excellent sound design work in this movie. Just phenomenal.
So this movie does a thing that I really appreciate that isn't done that frequently. It is where we sexually humiliate a shitty ass man by putting him in a sexual situation that is really like, whoa boy there. This is just to humiliate this character for the audience. And I say, thank you.
Yes.
Also-
more, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Like, I don't think I've ever had a sink that's the right height to be able to do that.
Everyone just.
No, I'm looking
I
at my
mean-
sink.
Yeah.
I don't know that. I mean,
How tall is Josh Ruben? I have questions.
He's not that tall.
I was like, did he climb up or something? Did we not
he
see
on
that
his
Little
part?
step stool.
On a little apple box. Yeah. Meredith, in her very sexy red lingerie set, regains consciousness and beats him repeatedly
Yeah,
with the
girl.
statue.
Slay.
This moment is beautiful.
This is where Julian yelled, overkill, overkill, overkill. Keep hitting him, girl.
Bruce hallucinates a romantic sunlit conversation with Meredith on the floor, then re-enters reality to find himself very injured. Act 2. He applies bandages and heads outside with a fire poker to search for Meredith and dig up the buried barrels that contain Kate and Leonora's rotting corpses. Meredith as Tisiphone, Kate as Alecto, and Leonora as Megara all torment Bruce and prevent him from leaving. After falling and hitting his already damaged skull, he brings the statue outside and offers it to them as penance. He gives a speech about not being responsible for his actions, that it's this piece of him that takes control.
And the movie's like, yeah, no, fuck that.
Sure, Jan.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Sure about that? Back in the house, as Bruce rambles like a lunatic, Manfred Mann spins back up on the turntable, and Kate and Leonora, decked out in bizarre medical get-ups, perform surgery on the Red Owl, removing its head and revealing a creature modeled after the Polish poster for Alien. Bruce and Meredith.
Okay, that's what that is.
Yeah.
I thought it was a lobster.
Nope.
I had
Look up the Polish
no-
poster for
Whoa,
Alien from
yeah.
1979. My friend Clint has it hanging in his basement. It is amazing.
Oh,
Yep.
that is wild.
Yeah.
I was like,
So,
I don't know
So
what
fucking
this
good.
thing is, but it is.
it's one of those deep
Unsettling.
cut horror references
Yeah.
that doesn't feel pretentious. It's just like, wow, I love the design
It's
of
just
this
good
thing.
art.
Let's
It's just
incorporate
cool
it.
art, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I mean, that's what this whole movie is. This movie is like, hey, I love this art. I love these artists. I want to incorporate some of those ideas into what I'm doing because it makes what I'm doing stronger and more powerful. And God, I really love Travis Stevens as a filmmaker, and trying to save my thoughts for later.
I think that's one thing I really this time, because this is only the second time I've seen it, but I think this is what I appreciated more about it this time is kind of like the art direction and just the use of art in the film and in a very like intentional way and not necessarily like abstract artistic imagery for the sake of abstraction and just kind of being wacky, which I'm not above that. I don't mind that, but like,
no,
I
it's
just really
intentional. It's
but
very
the intentionality was really like a nice breath of fresh air in this.
It feels rooted in the art world. You have people who work at art galleries or as dealers or buyers, so it feels very accurate to the world that we're being shown. Yeah, you're right. It's not just being thrown there to be like, wow, look, we have cool visuals. It's the visuals add to the story. It's also that, like, it speaks to a level of wealth.
Yeah.
And this feeling when you have that level of wealth that you can get away with anything.
Yes, I think that was something too that, like, I clocked this time that did not like ring with me the first time I saw it, is that kind of the entitlement. His entitlement was even more like overt to me.
There's also a sterileness to a place like this that it's so cool, it looks amazing, but it's so staged that it also makes you think that there's a warmth missing.
It's like Hannibal's house.
Yes, it's like that cold, like almost like clinical feel of like this. There's no way to actually be comfortable here.
It's too curated.
It's like when the Black Cat in 1933 did Old Dark House in Bauhaus, and it's all the glass windows and how they're using that to establish horror instead of the traditional Gothic.
Yep. God, that movie's so good.
I know, it's so good.
So Bruce and Meredith, who is still Tisiphone.
And I was like, I was like, immediately interrupt May. And funny that you should say staged, Amanda, since Travis is using so much imagery, obviously, from actual Greek theater. This and completely...
Which is religious.
Yes.
All Greek theater was religious festival.
And as I told Amanda and May, I accidentally stumbled upon the 1981 version of Orestia?
Orestia.
Oh, see,
Orestia.
everyone just said it differently, so I love this.
That's how I was taught it
Orestia.
in school.
Orestia.
said.
I have an old colleague named Oresti from college.
Yeah,
which I guess
Orestes
is
is the
masculine
character.
version.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there you go.
I always thought it was Orestia.
We were always taught it was the Orestia. That's how it was.
You know,
Granted, that was an old British.
I was going to say that could also be. Yes.
It's Orestia.
So, which is a play about the Furies.
It's three
It's
plays.
3 plays. And then the last one is about the Furies and the world's first murder trial.
Yeah, it's Clytemnestra murders her husband Agamemnon.
Then her son marries her.
Orestes and
Murders
and then
her.
Orestes and Electra. Those are the children. Orestes is away at like war in the first play. He comes back, and this is Electra's play, and she's big mad that mommy murdered daddy.
Because she had a psychosexual attraction to him, which is why
Electra
there's a thing
complex?
called an Electra
Classic.
complex.
Classic, yep.
And
Classic
she
Electra.
and Orestes murder Clytemnestra, and then the Furies go after Orestes, and Athena comes down and sets up a trial, and it's a split jury. This is the first depiction of a jury trial. And then Athena, being the real feminist icon that she is like, nah, it's okay, boo.
Yeah.
You murdered your mom, whatever.
Athena and Apollo just not being sisters. This exact mask is used in a very apparently famous British version of the plays. In the 1981 version, directed by Sir Peter Hall and adapted by Tony Harrison for the English version. So this you can actually find on YouTube, which is how I know this because I was looking up things to talk about, and I'm like, oh shit, there's the mask.
Is it like a stage show that's on YouTube? Oh, cool. Okay.
See, I was super excited with all the Greek in this because I have a dual BA, and one of my degrees is in theater. And my school, part of our theater degree was a lot of Greek theater. We did a lot of studying of Greek tragedy and satyr plays, which are mostly lost, but just the idea of what a satyr play is, because you can't really read them anymore. So all of this stuff just brings me right back to sitting in my professor's class, and also makes me think of the time that he once said to the Greeks, sex was like cornflakes. If you like cornflakes, you have a bowl of cornflakes in the morning, but you don't think about it all day. Actually, I prefer Cheerios.
I also prefer Cheerios.
If I had to pick between those two, I would say Cheerios.
Okay.
Maybe a Rice Krispies.
Oh, right.
If we're going for like the
I
basic.
also
like-
love Rice Krispies.
I love a Rice Krispie.
Yeah, give me Frosted Flakes over
No.
Corn Flakes,
Oh,
but
fuck
give me
yeah.
regular
Thank you,
Cheerios over Frosted
I got
Cheerios.
kicks in life, and my mom was really into grape nuts, which are the worst cereal ever.
Yeah,
I hate
Oh,
them
so
Kicks.
bad.
Constipation
Kicks
cereal.
fucking rule, though.
Kicks
I
are
love
great,
Kicks.
but they
I
go
miss
bad
berry
so fast.
Kicks
Were y'all
so
in-
much.
I was gonna say, were you into the berry ones? 'Cause
Oh,
I
yeah.
love those.
They were the
Yeah.
best.
I like the regular.
My favorite cereal of all time, though, is the Rice Krispie Treats cereal, which got discontinued in the mid-2000s. I'm
Yes.
still mad about it.
So they I literally last week just bought a frosted Rice Krispies cereal, which is basically like that, but they're all broken up and not in clumps. It's not quite the same, but it's the closest I've found to it.
Okay, I'll try it.
Yeah.
See, I don't do any of the sweetened ones. I had such a low sweet tooth.
Yeah, we weren't
'cause
allowed
you're so
as
sweet.
much. We weren't allowed.
Sure,
okay.
let's tell people that.
Before I keep going with the synopsis, which we're almost done with, I
Yeah.
just want to say this staging of them sitting at the table is also inspired by a Marina Abramovic piece.
Oh.
Oh, I know the piece. When it has the thing where people come and sit with her, and then her ex came. Oh. But also, Meredith had the book by Marina Abramovic.
It all comes
She also had
together.
Again.
She also had a book
Sorry.
by the artist Katie Horna, which obviously our character Kate Horna was named after. So,
Very cool.
Bruce and Meredith, still as Tisiphone, sit at the table with the statue between them. She interrogates him, her voice coming out of the speakers as if recorded on vinyl. He admits that she, Kate, and Leonora are part of a new collection, which means he's been doing this for a while and he's killed a lot of people.
And this is his art.
Yep. And more snakes begin to writhe around on her, the table, and the statue.
So much.
So good.
Yes.
At Meredith's encouragement, Bruce digs out the piece of him that controls him, which first appears as a tiny little brain bird, but is actually just a chunk of his brain that he ripped out through the hole in his skull.
Jigsaw would be proud.
But it brings me back to that episode. To Hannibal, the movie, but it's so much better.
I watched Hannibal the movie recently for the first
No,
time,
I'm
and
so
it
sorry.
sucks. It
I'm so
absolutely
sorry.
sucks, especially compared to Hannibal season 3, the first half
Oh.
that takes place in Italy, which I love.
It's-
Hannibal, the
oh.
movie, is so bad, but Silence the musical parody is amazing.
Bruce makes a toga out of a bed sheet. I love the editing
so
here. It's so
funny.
fucking dramatic. And runs
So I
outside.
do kind of wish we just kept him naked so his dick would be flopping around to add to the humiliation factor.
Yeah.
I was expecting some dick actually,
Yeah.
and I was
Yeah.
about to. I made a note to bring that up here and like
Josh
why didn't we
Ruben?
get Josh Ruben
Hang
dick?
that dong.
But
Hang
also,
dong, Josh.
It's Greek, you know?
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
talking about the Greeks were pretty
And-
preoccupied
and
with
in the
promised.
statue,
Yeah. Yeah.
the victim is naked.
There's actually a very big reason why when you look at Greek sculptures of gods and men, the penises are not super large. And it has to do it's a satyr thing.
that's interesting.
It has to do with sex to excess. That like if it's engorged, it's saying this is my professor's cornflakes comment that if you're thinking about sex too much, you're a satyr basically, and that's why they have perpetually engorged phalluses.
Phalluses?
Because they are phalluses. They are
Phalluses.
they're driven by those primal urges, whereas real men just have a normal sized penis because they can turn it off and off when they need to.
Real men aren't driven by primal
No.
urges.
Never.
No, definitely not.
So you can thank the Greeks and my
Thanks,
college degree.
So, yes, Bruce makes a toga out of a bedsheet and runs outside, accidentally clawing himself in the thigh with the bognog. The three Furies chase him, repeating his own hollow words and further tormenting him after he has fallen.
You go, girls. This
As
is
the sun-
sisterhood.
Get him.
As the sun rises, Tisiphone removes her mask, revealing a jewel-covered face that sparkles in the sun. She then turns into her true self, Meredith, wearing a green tarp, which I don't know if you noticed, when they first get to the cabin, that was covering all the logs.
Oh.
And she has a towel and duct tape around her throat for her very grave injury, I'm assuming. And she says, "Go fuck yourself."
she does.
As we finally get a title
Yeah.
card, and she watches Bruce attack himself over and over with the bog knock, rolling around in the mud, and the credits
Flopping like a
roll
fish.
over the entire thing.
Yeah.
It is glorious.
So good.
Amazing.
Okay, so everyone tell me, which of the three Erinys or Furies do you prefer? Megara the Grudging, who appears as a tree creature, Alecto the Unceasing, who can turn into a dog, or Tisiphone, the Punisher of Murderers, who brings snakes with
Okay,
her?
there's 3 chaotic bisexuals on this podcast, and I think we all have a preoccupation with snakes, so...
Yeah,
Madara.
yeah.
So I have a horrific fear of snakes, and I'm pansexual, so I don't know if this is like a. But I would say for me, the snakes are probably my favorite because of that. Like, right? It's like this kind of like the power and the something about it is so unsettling and threatening in a way that I liked in this because that's what he deserved.
I think pansexual and bisexual is close enough to say we all
Totally.
have the snake thing.
And I'm horribly chaotic, so absolutely.
Welcome to your people.
Hey, look, we mostly have guests who are also chaotic queers, so it works out. So we're all going with Tisiphone, Punisher of Murderers.
Yes, I'm gonna go to Tisiphone, Alecto, and then Megara.
I just don't want to be a tree.
The tree was like kind of my least favorite just because of like, I don't know, the imagery is less appealing to me. But yeah, I think I might say the same order as Caitlin as far as like my preference. And I'm a big dog person, but I didn't want to go with dog.
Because I also feel like
As the top, because-
Tisiphone and Alecto are very like action oriented as well.
Yeah.
So they are going after.
They kinda got more to do.
Yes.
Tisiphone is
Yeah.
taunting, and I'm here for some taunting.
And Megara is just over there trying to, get with Hercules and
Singing that one song.
That's great.
I won't say it. I won't say it.
I
I
won't say it.
fucking love that movie.
Yeah, because
you.
it's gorgeous, and
it's so
she
good.
is clearly a bi icon.
Oh,
She is.
100%.
I sang that song in a girls' choir
That
that I
tracks.
was part of when we did a Disney showcase. That was the one I picked.
Love that.
At
I
theater
love-
camp, I was in a stage production of that. This is before they made an actual Hercules musical. This is when they still had a counselor watch the Disney movie and write out the script and then have the lower campus do those as
Wow.
plays.
And whom did you play?
The flirty muse.
Oh, yeah, of course.
The one who's really thirsty.
Yeah,
Checks out.
I mean, look, I'm not saying you were typecast, but
I was typecast.
you were typecast.
There's a reason.
Just maybe.
Okay, so y'all tell me, what was your first experience with this movie? And Amanda, let's start with you, because this was a first watch for you,
Yeah,
right?
it was last night, and I'm so mad.
Because you wanted to have seen it earlier.
Guys, this is so my jam. Why had nobody said, bitch, you need to see this?
Well, I've got really good news for you because Vinegar Syndrome put out an excellent Blu-ray of this that I own. It's got some really nice special features, and it's got a 5.1 mix of the film for audio, and it
I can imagine it's a
sounds
great 5.1. I would love to see that.
incredible.
I would go see this in a theater for
Oh,
sure.
same. When the Music Box here in Chicago did some remodeling recently, and they were talking about like, what are some bucket list movies you want to see screened here? And this was the first thing I threw out. I was like, I want to see this fucking
Yeah.
movie in a theater. I don't care if it's just a DCP made from the Blu-ray. I want to see it in a theater. I want to
I'm
see
sure
it
they
on a
have
big
a
screen.
DCP because they did screen
Maybe.
at Fantastic, so they have
Oh,
a DCP.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
I saw it in a
cool.
theater.
Oh, nice.
too.
Yeah,
Nice.
they've got it. They definitely have a DCP.
Very nice.
But anyway, highly recommend the Blu-ray. Vinegar Syndrome always puts out great stuff. If you can
Also-
find a copy with the slipcase art is gorgeous.
Josh Ruben has really broken out since this movie, so I think it's time for a reappraisal.
Yes,
The Tad
absolutely.
Skosh.
Ari, what about you? When was the first time you watched this?
Yeah, I saw this for the first time at a festival, actually, and it was at Telluride Horror Show,
Nice.
which is something that I did for like the first few years. I think I'd done it 3 or 4 times. It's very small. We get a lot of spillover from TIFF Midnighters sometimes, or Fantasia. Not Fantasia.
Oh, that's it from True
That's,
Blood.
True
The Vampire Club. Yes, it is.
Oh man, you know what's great about the fact that we're a video podcast now is I get to insert an image or a clip of Fantasia from True Blood.
Fantasia, of course.
I love it.
Oh, Pam.
But Fantasia. So yeah, so it had played, I think, Fantastic Fest right before,
Yeah.
and which I haven't been to in years, but I loved it, being an old Austinite. But yeah, so I was only familiar with Travis. I hadn't seen Jacob's Wife, but I knew about the
I
film.
haven't seen that one either.
Oh, I
I've
saw
seen
that one.
Girl on the
Girl on the
Third.
third floor.
See, the
I-
girl on the third floor.
I love that one.
That one. See, when I first watched that, I had such a strong negative reaction to it.
A lot of people do.
So
Yeah.
I didn't pay them. I watched it when I was working in distribution, and it really just came across my desk to like QC it. So I wasn't actually paying attention. I was making sure there were no issues.
Sure, fair enough. So
And
you
then
weren't
there's-
like
yeah.
absorbed in it.
I wasn't absorbed. It was like,
narratively,
are
yeah.
your closed captions correct? Is this
Right.
synced?
You
Do
weren't
we
like,
have
why is
bugs?"
there cum coming out of an electrical socket?
You're like, that checks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
was like,
you're like, no,
we're
that's
good.
fine.
We're good.
That's no
we
problem
can
with that.
program.
Normal.
We can program this. Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, I think
studio.
it was definitely like I don't know what I was primed for, but because I didn't love The Girl on the Third Floor, I kind of went in more with like, well, I can only go up from here, right? If my perspective, ideally, and I had heard someone who had seen it said, like, I think you'll like this more. And I really did. I think I was actually very thrown a curveball by the last 2/3 of it because it totally did not go where I expected. But I understood then why the person who told me, I think you will like this, because I do like really like, you know, kind of these grander thematic ideas and how like artistic imagery and like history and art can be used to create kind of a new way of telling a horror story. And I just really loved that. I thought it was so creative, and I did find it to be more overtly feminist in a way that I could get on board with than Girl on the Third Floor. Though in hindsight, I do think I should give Girl on the Third Floor another try, knowing what he does and like especially what his perspective is.
I would highly recommend giving it another shot. I went into it knowing that a lot of people didn't like it and knowing that people thought it was misogynistic.
Like, yeah.
And so I went into it with like a super open mind, thinking I am determined to disprove these people because I love A Wounded Fawn so much that I want to see what Travis's earlier stuff is about. And knowing like what this movie is, I was like, I bet these people are reading the movie wrong. And I came away with feeling like I was right. Feeling like, yeah, you know what? Girl on the Third Floor is also pretty feminist. And it is another movie about how fucking terrible men are. So, yeah, give it another shot.
Will do. Noted.
What about you, Caitlin?
I watched this, I think it was 2022, and I think I was really high because I didn't really remember like much of this except for the end credits, which were seared into my mind and knowing how great it was.
Best end credits.
And what had spurred me on was a horror podcast that definitely nobody on this recording right now has anything to do with, period. So I'll just leave it at that.
Is it maybe the one that our guest is married to one of the co-hosts of, and I co-host another podcast with the other co-host? That one?
Kind of what I thought, but
Yeah.
That one? What's that called again?
No.
never heard of it. I don't know.
I don't know her.
Queer men who like scary movies.
Sounds familiar.
Queers for fears.
It's boy booze.
Boob sweat.
The Boo Boys.
The Boo Boys. Oh my god, that's so cute.
But
That's a Scooby-Doo villain.
yeah.
The Boo Boys.
But I also, well, not specifically theater, but I have a drama degree, so this was very much in my wheelhouse. The Greek chorus, the Furies, the masks, and the woman beating the shit out of a dude. All awesome.
Always a good time.
Great time.
Hell yeah.
I'm here for that.
I don't remember when this dropped on Shudder in 2022, but I watched it at the beginning of December, and I think it was one of those things I watched by myself late at night, and we know how that usually goes for me. But I gave this a 5-star review, my first fucking time. I immediately went on Bandcamp and bought the digital soundtrack, which... Vol, if you are listening to this, please, I know I've asked you this before when we messaged on Instagram years ago, please release the soundtrack on vinyl. It's so good. I need it.
Maybe Amanda can slip into their DMs and do the magic.
Yeah. Ooh, yes.
I would. Yeah,
Yes,
I could do that.
do it. So I loved this movie from the jump. As soon as I found out there was a Blu-ray for it, I bought it. I don't remember how many watches I had done before that, but oh, yes. Okay, so I bought the Blu-ray and first watched it at the end of August 2024. But yes, today was my 7th watch of this movie.
Wow.
Okay.
This is genuinely one of my favorite films
No, it's
of
gorgeous.
all time.
It's short. It's cathartic. It's a
Yep.
good for her.
Yeah, the fact that it was shot on 16 millimeter and it looks the way it does, it's got that giallo blood that looks like red paint.
Yeah.
Yes.
My biggest complaint is that he's not naked through the whole last of the movie.
truly.
I just think narratively that'd be great.
Yeah. Agreed.
But yeah, there's
And I'm not
so
saying that
much.
to be like prurient. I actually do think narratively it would really, really
Yes.
add
Well,
to the
I
movie.
agree. And I think they could have gotten away with like a prosthetic
yeah.
or something to
Yeah.
make him comfortable. Like, I mean, it's more common
Also to make
now.
it smaller.
Right. Historically accurate.
Historically accurate Greek peen.
Okay, look, y'all, we need a historically accurate dong to hang in this movie, please.
But also, just like how
So,
nudity is typically
Or we could give
used
him a
for like
satyr penis.
women, and making that very, very vulnerable. And yes, I think it would just add a little bit of like.
yeah.
I mean, as it is, the most, sexily clad women we get her in great lingerie, whereas we get his butt. We get a lot more out of him. But yeah, it could have been a prosthetic. I do think narratively that would have been, and maybe if they were to remake it today, that would be the choice. I don't know.
Well, I had a transition and it's gone now. So let's just head to our next category, faith and chance.
I can't exist by myself because I'm afraid of myself. Because I'm the maker of my own evil. Goodness is only some kind of reflection upon evil. That's all it is.
Okay, what was happening in movies at the time? We did on our last episode another 2022 movie. So we've covered this recently, and it's a weird year.
Yes.
It's a really weird year. The only stuff coming out in theaters are huge budget, big studio superhero movies, legacy sequels, Top Gun Maverick, Avatar 2, superhero, blah, blah, blah. Because it's the tail end, basically, of the pandemic. So a lot of movies that were made and supposed to come out in theaters, tail end in quotes, did not come out in theaters, got dumped on streamers. And I don't know if this is something that might have had a theatrical release were it not for all of that. That being said, I do love a Shudder movie, but this really feels like something that would be fun to watch in an audience. In a theater with an audience.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just a very strange year for what's actually coming out.
Yeah, I will say that watching it with an audience, I do remember some pretty like stark gasps and like kind of cheers, because the festival audiences too are like really specific in that I think, you know, you see film after film after film at a festival and it can kind of feel like, you know, you're just kind of in this twilight zone of, okay, next. And I think to have a film experience be reactive and interactive in the sense of not being assholes and like yelling and talking, but like just truly having visceral reactions to what we're seeing. And I think a couple of them came from, one was her hitting him in the head repeatedly, which many, like good for her responses there. And certainly whenever he first attacks the I forget the first woman's Kate. Thank you. Yeah, that was another moment. But it's just like kind of the theatrical experience. I hate, you know, that post-COVID, we had a lot of that stolen from us. Yeah. You know, by virtue of just what we had to deal with and how we had to navigate art getting released, or if it even was going to get released. Like, it was just, so I do feel very lucky to have been able to see this with people. But I do think it's possible too that it could come back for some repertory screenings, or like, again, if you're loud enough, you know, we've seen this happen with other films that kind of got dumped. And I mean, even
let's just program a bunch of good for her movies that are from the last 10 years and did not get theatrical releases.
I'm still so upset that Prey never got a theatrical release. Like, that movie.
Right?
I'm going to be mad about that forever.
See, something else just dumped on Hulu.
Yep. All right. What do you got,
I have the Greeks, because this is a huge part of this movie. And I know, weird. And I do feel like your experience is enriched when you know a bit more about the mythology behind it, and the role of like Greek theater. Again, like I said, I also have a degree in theater and drama. Drama.
What? Bisexuals with drama or theater degrees?
That's
Never
so
heard of
weird.
that.
Kind of amazing I don't have one. But I didn't go to college, as we all know.
Yeah, but you're a sound person. You do music and audio, so...
And I initially went to school for music.
Wonderful. Excellent. That, and then I also was very, very into, like, the Greek mythos, the pantheon, if you will. So, this is something that I was, like, I read so much about, and I'm so excited to get to your Athena question here in a bit, Amanda, because I will have so much to say.
Yes, I had so much. Do you have a lot of feelings about Athena? Because I have a lot of feelings about Athena.
Wait. You know what?
I'm a Medusa pendant.
I'll bring it up when we get there. I'm going to wait.
So, just quickly here, we have the Furies, who are a huge part of this, obviously. So, what they were is, they're actually older gods than the Olympians. They are gods of the underworld, punishers of wrongdoing and blood guilt.
Oof.
Blood
I love
guilt.
that.
Mostly for crimes against family members, especially children against their elders. So, this is a big thing with the Orestia or the Orestia or the however we're pronouncing it today.
How do we get them to go after parents who have done wrong to their children?
I know.
It's like on that.
Interesting. They would branch out though. Sometimes they would go after people for other murders and whatnot. One of their big things is that they would make their targets go mad. Still then with madness, which is very much what happens in this movie, and the only way to get rid of the curse was to be purified in a ceremony. So when they're sitting at the table and Bruce says, "Will this purify me?" that is what he's talking about. So he is not being pursued by the Furies anymore.
Here's my question for you, because at the very, very end, it just flashes back to her as she was before all of that. Do you think she actually just drugged him and fought back, and he's envisioning the entire thing, and she's just fucking with him?
No, I
absolutely about that
Really?
too.
not.
And I think, I think I'm with May too, because I think a part of me was thinking like, oh, this is just kind of like this symbolic experience he had with his shame and guilt. like kind of like that's how this kind of is experienced through that drug trip. But then I don't know, something about just kind of the air of the movie, I was like, no, I don't think it's, I think this was real. Like I guess like kind of, what is the line that he says, like made physical or made flesh?
Mount Superior has turned into flesh without flesh. And I know that because I've thought about getting a tattoo that says flesh without flesh. So here's how we know that this stuff is actually happening. Because Meredith sees it. Because Meredith experiences it before she bashes his head in. And she wasn't drugged.
Well, here's the thing. Drugging someone would still track. He could still be drugged because that fully tracks with the Greek festival.
Yes, that is true. But before we even get to the cabin, that dog that suddenly appears and runs past her, that is her first portent. That is her first omen. That is Kate as Alecto in dog form warning her
Black
to
dogs
stay
as
away.
omens. I believe we talked about that in one of our Giallo January.
I believe we did. As someone who always wants things to be supernatural, I am very firmly of the belief that everything that happens in this movie, even if it's like a temporary hallucination, even if his mind is enhancing it a bit, so like seeing the piece of his brain as the little baby brain bird, he's still dug out a piece of his fucking brain. You know, he's still being tormented by the Furies. They are actually doing these things. His car is fucked because one of them reached their hand in there and ripped out a part of the engine.
I think that's the part that I really appreciated the most on this watch, is like where I was like, no, this isn't like just some, it was all a drug trip, or it was all a dream type of thing. I did listen to a previous episode that you all did. I think it was
yes.
And talking about just kind of the, and May, I'm with you, like that is like a up there,
Sharon.
like 4.5 to 5 star for me, because I'm a big found footage girly, but I like, again, the conspiracy stuff kind of at times being reduced to, well, it was just this ridiculous thing, or it was just all a dream, or blah blah blah. Like
that drives me nuts.
Yeah, and I just like the idea of like, but what if it wasn't? What if we could, like, what is the way that like I would understand this if I threw that idea out? And I think that was the enjoyment I had with it this time.
I'm okay with either interpretation here, because even if it is just that she drugged him and then fucked shit up, it's still giving her agency. It's not just a dream. It is something that she is actively putting in front of him and actively doing to toy with him. So I'm okay with either reading.
I think I like the idea too, though, of this mythical force joining her. Like, I think that is the part that makes this really a wholly unique story. Yeah, because I'm really into like high strangeness and just kind of this idea even of like history repeating itself, and like old energy and old forces being channeled over time in different ways and like being revived, and just kind of the idea of like, what if you got the wrath of some mythical figure or some god or some historical figure upon you in this really kind of unique way as far as telling a horror story, which I mean, it sounds like Amanda, like kind of similar, like you said, I already made something like this, except it was sci-fi. But just, I love that concept, and I think it like elevated this idea of like old energy and old power also having this like ability to intervene in our lives when necessary.
I rewatched Oddity the other day with a friend who had not seen it, which... Yeah, same. That's another one I bought on Blu-ray as soon as I watched it the first time, because I was like, I need to own this movie.
It's my favorite.
I need the surround mix, and I need the black areas to actually have detail in them. Shudder, fix your fucking compression algorithm. I love you, but like, Anyway, one of the things I was talking about when we watched it is I love it when ghosts are trying to help people. In Oddity, her ghost is not mad at the other woman in that situation. She warns her. She tells her to get the fuck out of there, and that character listens, which I absolutely love, because talk about a subversion of expectations. You don't expect to be like, oh, I like her, but you end up liking her. And that feels like the same thing here, is these other women who've been done wrong by Bruce are joining forces with Meredith to fucking destroy him. And
You also aren't fucking with ghosts if you're Irish. You're like, okay, I'm out. Like, yes, you are correct. You're trying to tell me something?
Yep.
I heed your warning. Let me go. You're out.
Noted. Bye.
Don't touch that fairy tree. Religious and folklore. So I did want to touch upon the use of masks in Greek theater, because this is a huge part of it. This is specifically, I took a lot of this from thedramateacher.com. And it's the role of masks in Greek theater, 10 Critical Facts by Justin Cash. So a lot of the masks, they originated in religious ceremonies for Dionysus, like you said, Amanda. A lot of...
It was an all-day festival.
Speaking of
theater.
drugs and getting drunk.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
no,
you'd
this
sounds
have
really fun.
several
Yes, please.
plays, and then it would end with the satyr play. You couldn't fuck up your lines because this was an offering to the gods.
And masks had a lot of practical applications as well. They were used for acoustic amplification for the actor's voice, since, you're doing this outside in like an amphitheater. They allowed for few actors to play multiple roles. Actors were all men, because fuck you.
Yeah.
So they could...
Look, getting into Greek gender
I
politics.
mean, we're about to. I know.
That's a different episode.
And you
That's
can't
a
even
different
do
podcast.
it. You can't even do it as a whole. You'd have to do Sparta
Right,
and
it's
Athens
just-
entirely separately.
Yes. But this allowed male actors to play female characters because they could change the masks around. This could also, they would have different masks for different emotions if there's a transformation that the character was going through. This is different, though, than the chorus. So the chorus is found in, I think, most Greek theater. Like, this is very important for Greek theater. And in Aristia, the Furies are kind of the chorus. And the chorus will do things that's kind of funny with people getting really mad, at Netflix for just reiterating what the plot is up to this point, because that's what the Greek chorus would do, basically. I mean, yes, they did it in a lot more fun way. I'm not...
It's a lot more wink, wink, nudge, nudge than Netflix just being like, I said this, I said this, I went to the drive-thru. Did you know she went to the drive-thru? Oh my God, she just went to the drive-thru.
I am not trying to say that that's an okay thing to do.
I don't know
It was just
why that
very
was-
funny to me when I was like, oh, right, the choruses who were just like, here's what's happened so far. Here's what's happened first. Summary of information for the audience so they could follow the performance. But they also will be like a collective voice. They can represent the general population. They comment on it.
So, Go Fish basically has a Greek chorus of lesbians.
What?
Yeah.
Go Fish?
Yeah, in the movie Go.
What movie
the
is
movie
that?
Go
Wait,
Fish,
now I'm like-
There are these scenes from the 90s, New Queer Cinema, the lesbian, black and white.
They just showed it
like
at
I
the
have.
music box, actually.
Oh. Yeah, I've never seen it.
Okay, well, it basically has a Greek
Wonderful.
chorus of lesbians commenting on the actions of
Yes,
the movie.
and that's another thing is they will comment. They will sometimes be a go-between for the action that's on stage and the audience. And just kind of the way it was used. It's really interesting because I have a little note here that historians like Sophocles way more than Euripides. And part of the reason is because Euripides would, like, the chorus wasn't really part of the plot, where with Sophocles, it was very, very much a part of the plot. So this is going to help also going into this next section that we have the Aristia trilogy, and as I said, and we talked about, this is like the first kind of trial by jury, like murder trial laws. We have Hermes taking Orestes away, and then Apollo and Athena take his case, and the Furies are on the other side of this. And one of the things that I found very interesting was the idea of father right versus mother right. And this was proposed by an anthropologist, Johann, maybe it's Jakob, Bachofen.
Probably.
Thank you. Yeah.
Gesundheit.
Tug. Bach.
Get that check.
Bachofen. Thank you. That makes way more sense than what I just said. Bachofen. But the idea of society starts to move, Greek society starts to move from like a woman's murder being more important or just as important as a man being murdered. And that also, this idea of revenge was a lot of like women's issues instead of like trials and law and order, which is like men coming in and...
Which is so interesting because we have a whole movie genre of women rape revenge or just lady revenge movies.
And so this is seen as that idea that we're moving from a bit more matriarchal or at least equal society into a more male-dominated society. And I found that so fascinating.
And you know who wasn't pro-women getting revenge on men who deserved it? Athena.
Well,
there are a lot of thoughts.
Before we get to Athena, let me just tell you how people feel about this movie. And
I will tell you that a lot of people are wrong.
Well, yes, this does have a 96% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes from 46
right.
reviews. They are correct.
Those people
but
are right.
It only has a 5.4 out of 10 on IMDb.
Okay, that's because it's sexist trolls. Sexist trolls. This movie is feminist as fuck. It's fun. It's gorgeous. Those are some sexist fuck faces.
And it's got a 3 out of 5 or a 6 out of 10
Wrong.
on Letterboxd, which is also wrong.
Wrong.
Again, this was a 5-star movie for me from the first time I watched it. It is still a 5-star movie for me. I am never going to get tired of watching this movie. And things that also never get tired are money. So let's make some. God, we need to get sponsors. And now we'll use our knockbogs to dig into the meat, the goo, and the viscera in a section we call Enough is a Myth.
No. I've done enough.
Enough is a myth.
Okay, let's get into our questions.
Yes. Alrighty, so as we've maybe touched on, this movie is playing around in the Greek mythology pool. While Bruce is making dinner, we see him chopping up a pomegranate. And, if you know anything about Greek mythology, pomegranates were known as the fruit of the dead. And they're a really prominent part of the Hades and Persephone myth, where the pomegranate seed that Persephone eats is what keeps her tethered to the underworld. So, from the point of view of Bruce, do you think he sees himself as a sort of Hades-like figure, wanting to trap beautiful women in his realm with his pomegranates?
Yeah.
Well, he sure thinks the world of himself, so I wouldn't put it past him.
And like we said, this is his art. He said this is a new collection. He thinks of his murders of these women as him creating art, and that makes sense from his point of view as someone who is obsessed with art. And what does Meredith say to him that he's like, oh, I knew you'd understand me, about that he wants to trap these beautiful things because he does not feel beautiful on the inside or whatever. It's a great line. I'm butchering it. But yeah, this is...
Oh, it's that we have beauty, wealth, or power, and you do not.
Right. Yes. Yeah, so he absolutely is trying to make these art collections and trap these women in a way that no one can touch them, and only he knows. It is his private collection.
Yeah, I think too, like the whole idea of him not having these qualities that he so envies in other people or in others in the world or in whatever, in art, in the field. Because I guess I kind of was a little bit is he is part of his real job in art? Like, is that his full-time, or is this...
I
think this is
absolutely
really his job.
Yeah, I absolutely
Okay.
believe that he works for a gallery
That makes
or
sense.
a collector or
'Cause the
whatever.
auctioneer-
Or a little bit of both.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
So
auctioneer.
he's like a
fully-
familiar. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like a regular or
He
whatever.
really does buy art for galleries or private collectors.
Which is, I think, is really interesting because it's like he's a
He doesn't have the
purchaser.
money, they
he
do.
doesn't have, and he also doesn't have this talent. He doesn't have the gift, so he's kind
not
of this
making art.
right, and he's just kind of like a middleman. And I think that this is so interesting because the idea is almost like the only way I could get these women to be this is by trapping them, by like kind of with the pomegranate seed, with like luring them in, because I don't have the capacity to just create this otherwise.
And you know, pomegranates also other symbolism are like blood. Is a big part of it. If anyone is
Vaginas.
watching The Vampire Lestat on streaming, you will know that there is a Palm Wonderful ad that happens before every single episode, and where he talks about is like, this is the life force. Yes, it's very
Wait,
much.
is it Lestat?
Yes, it's listed.
my God.
Like in
Yes,
character.
Yes.
Well, it's also a pomegranate is
like,
also a vaginal
the
symbol.
pomegranate.
Yeah, a lot of people believe that the supposed apple
Yes.
that was on the tree in the Garden of Eden was actually a pomegranate because it makes more sense for the region where
Yep.
that would have
Historically,
been
yep.
historically.
And also because the monotheistic religions love to pull from paganism.
What?
Yeah.
Strange that.
They
is.
would never.
It's almost like Christmas is actually set during what was Saturnalia.
Ooh, you don't see.
You know, the use of red in this movie, which is not just red flags, but the red owl and how red...
We're getting to that red owl.
Right. Specifically in ancient Greece was both a color of Ares, the god of war, and Aphrodite, the goddess of love. And so we have kind of two opposing things going on
All's
here.
fair
with
in love and war.
love and war,
It's almost like
passion.
sex and violence are really
What?
Those are never things I talk about. I
Someone
don't
should
know.
start a podcast about that. I think you're onto something.
Thank you.
Sex and violence? What? It's not like I took a class my freshman year of college
gonna
literally
say-
called Sex and Violence in Shakespeare.
I was going to say, as someone who never had sex but was really violent. Athena!
Yup.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, the owl in Greek mythology. You know what, bitch? This is associated with Athena, the goddess of wisdom. However, she's also the one who punished Medusa for getting raped. And in the Eumenides, which is the last play in the Oresta, however we want to pronounce that, she absolves Orestes of killing his mother to the ire of the Erinys. So, the owl in this movie, do we think this is literally Athena's emissary coming to tell Bruce what to do? Is Athena an anti-feminist character? And I do mean literally, if we're looking at this as literal Greek mythology taking place within this movie, is Athena telling Bruce, I don't like these ladies, kill him?
So I'm going to also say that in that adaptation by Tony Harrison, the English adaptation, Athena specifically says, I was born out of
Yes!
my father's head.
That's not from that adaptation. That is from the
Is that
play.
from right?
That's the that's
I
the
guess
text.
what I'm quoting is
Yeah.
from the adaptation. I
It's
guess
the
that's what I'm
original
trying to say.
text.
But yes, this is the original text. Is I was
as it's been translated.
yes, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say here. But that I was born out of my father's head. I don't see the need for women.
This has been my 20-year Fuck Athena campaign.
Ari, do you want to go first? Because I have a lot to say about this.
I was just gonna say, like, Amanda, I'm very struck by your ire towards Athena, but it makes so much sense now in this context, because in my mind, I guess whenever I saw this bit about Athena and the owl, it was like, oh, maybe he is just kind of like, this is how he justifies it by kind of like creating or like summoning in his psychosis or whatever this figure. And kind of saying like, well, if she's guiding me, then it's okay that I'm doing this. But it actually makes, I think gives a lot of credence to this anti-feminist argument. And now that you're all sharing this, because I wasn't even aware of that. Like, I don't have this depth of history knowledge. So, yeah. So at this point, I'm gonna say, yeah, I think I could see this actually if what we're seeing on the other side of things, if we're to believe that is actually happening and it's not just, sorry, that was a word. But if it's actually happening, then we got to give like credence to both sides and say like, oh, okay, well, is this kind of the energy of Athena coming forward and kind of just doing what she does now?
It's bringing someone else to my fuck Athena
campaign.
campaign.
I guess I'm there with you.
All right. So as the vice president of the Fuck Athena group, what's the word I'm looking for? Fuck Athena club. That's the word I'm looking. What?
Maybe it should be the Fuck Athena posse, so it could be the FAP.
The FAP.
Caitlin said gang.
Fap.
Caitlin said gang.
Fuck Athena gang. Okay, so
also that could work.
I have a lot of beef with Athena, and I absolutely do believe that if we are taking this as Greek mythology is real in this world, then yes, this is absolutely influenced by Athena. She is one of the most misogynistic characters in female characters in any religion, any mythology. She hates other women.
She is not a girl's girl. She would not be invited on this podcast.
No. And here's the other thing. I put out 2 albums in 2023. One of them was The Tower. That's speculative fiction about the first trans woman ever executed by the state for simply being trans, which unfortunately is getting closer and closer to not being speculative fiction, which is fucking terrifying. But the first album that I put out that year was called Servant. And Servant is the story of Medusa as a trans woman.
Oh, I love that.
That's amazing.
I should have put my cassette holder up here since I bought that one.
Oh my god, yeah, I should have grabbed my copy.
So you can add it in the post.
Yeah, I can just do a screenshot.
We'll do it in post.
Yeah, I have listened to this multiple times.
Thank you.
I've listened to all your music.
I know, it means...
I text, even before we were
so
like
much
friends, I'd be like, May, I really like this.
Yeah. So I did not realize it until today, but Athena in that version of the story is my mother.
Wow.
That tracks.
And yeah, so there's a lot to unpack there, but the vitriol with which Athena moves through her world that is almost only ever directed toward women is so disgusting. It is so disgusting. It is like the super right-wing women who will throw every other woman under the bus to be able to be a part of the boys' club, to be able to be included and to be seen as an equal to them, even though they're never actually going to see her as an equal. They're always going to look down upon her. And she has now betrayed everyone else who she should be caring for. So fuck Athena.
Yes. This has been brought to you by the Fuck Athena Posse and or gang, depending on who you ask.
I think No, I think that's so beautiful to hear too, because I think part of, again, what speaks to me about this is this idea of like, and it's not just like, oh, the history repeats itself type of thing, but it's like the energy of certain stories and narratives historically, and how they come back and they come back and they come back with like different forms, and it's kind of like they have a power to them, even these like dark sides and these messy sides, and it's just kind of the way that you see it align with that. I think that's a really fascinating perspective that I didn't quite think of, like but even seeing it in your own life personally, I think further highlights this, like how a lot of these stories continue to live through us as just like humans in the year of our Lord 2026. Like,
I think that's part of the reason that Greek mythology in particular is so evergreen, because the gods in Greek mythology are just as petty as humans.
That's the point. That's what they represent.
Right.
They represent human nature to the extreme. That's why there's not one god. It's every god is a different aspect of. This is why my grandfather is a pagan. Why he believes in the gods and not a god.
Right. And first of all, kudos to your grandpa.
I
That's
know.
fucking
This
awesome.
is a very fun conversation
What a
with him. He was
badass.
like,
Yeah.
when he was maybe a decade ago or even longer, because I've always been the atheist since I was 3. But I've had a lot of conversations with him, and he's like, no, I'm like, culturally Jewish, but there's no one God. That's stupid. If there are any gods, it's like the Greek idea. There's a bunch of them, and they're all petty bitches.
have y'all ever seen, or do you know about Greg and Dana Newkirk and their museum? They're like so they're like paranormal investigators, but really like she is a hedge witch and he is just kind of this nerd who's always been obsessed with the paranormal
People and not Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Yes.
Oh no, they fucking hate Ed and Lorraine. Like
Good.
they go on tirades.
They have a couple documentaries that are done sort of narrative.
So their
This
show,
is an anti. He had a teenage girl that he kept locked up in an
I
apartment.
forgot about
Fuck
that
Ed and
too.
Lorraine
no,
Warren.
they're fucking garbage, and
Yeah.
I'm glad that more people are realizing their like truly exploitative nature and just like they're con men. But like,
Horrible people.
I love Greg and Dana, and I feel like I talk about them on every podcast I'm on that has to do with like high strangeness, but also just like kind of archetypes and the idea of like stories repeating. But there's they have a show. 2 seasons, that's a documentary show called Hellier, and it's kind of like they investigate this one mystery, but it kind of spins into this much greater investigation that's kind of pointing more to like older energy at play. And so they have a movie that is a standalone documentary called The Unbinding that I would strongly recommend.
That's the one that I started to watch, and I was like, I need to watch this with someone else because it's freaking me out.
It's so good, and so good because of how they care about learning about this effigy, because it's about these hikers who find this effigy of a woman with a noose around her neck and nails in her eyes, and they find it, and they're like they go to historians and kind of look at like where could this have originated, and I'm not going to spoil because I do think it's actually really like cool to watch, but it kind of comes down to like older gods and this idea of like maybe they're trying to come forward with a message and come forward with this kind of like perspective that is meant to be made public through people like that who care enough to dig into these mysteries of why do we experience the supernatural the way we do? Why do we experience hauntings the way we do? And could it be something older and more like rooted in just kind of the world, and not necessarily like this, there's a spirit that's that's in unrest, and that it belonged to this person who died a few years ago. Like it goes much deeper in a way that is beautiful, and I really would highly recommend that.
So it's not so Christian centric.
It is 150% against that. Like there's a whole section too where they talk about like kind of the pagan versus Christian ideologies, and just kind of like how that is part of this oppression. Is like this rise of these monotheistic religions, and also stealing from older practices.
So much theft.
It has just been so cool.
It's erasing them and putting their religion, their religious rights over them to basically remove them from history.
Totally. It's and that's how you erase a people. That's how you erase like practices and customs and culture altogether. And so I think that that's what this also kind of reminded me of, and even May, just kind of how you shared your own experience creating art and like kind of realizing, oh, this is what this archetype is for me. This is mom. Right.
Well, and
it's
the fact that I didn't realize that until today, and I put that album out over 3 years ago, that's kind of...
It's fucking cool. I mean, that energy's it's living. And I think that that's really kind of the point of this movie and why I really appreciate just hearing all of your perspectives. That's totally a tangent, but it really big recommend on The Unbinding and Greg and Dana if you, like us, do not love the Warrens.
And
I enjoy those movies because they're fun to watch, but
but that's also not them. Like no.
I love Papa Patrick Wilson.
I was gonna say Patrick Wilson over there. Oh my god!
Yes, they could both get it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just sing to me.
I would be in a Patrick Vieira sandwich for
Who
sure.
would not?
Don't threaten me with
Right.
We've established that this is a podcast of people who like all genders here. So
It's true.
Bunch of whores, totally fine. Equal opportunity whores.
Bunch of sluts up in here. Is what I'm saying.
it really is.
So that's when I started blasting.
That's when I started my whores. So anyway.
So last question. Another reading of the Oresteia is about the cyclical nature of justice through revenge, where each play a character murders another in vengeance for what they did in the prior play. What is this movie saying about vengeance, specifically women's retaliation towards men who have wronged them?
That they're perfectly justified in doing that and deserve no punishment for doing
Good
so.
for her. Good for her.
Yeah,
Get it, girl.
This is the ultimate good for her movie because Meredith wins, and
he ends flopping like a fish.
yeah, he really does.
It's
Bleeding
humiliating.
out on the ground.
It's funny. The sound design to that of him just being like plop 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 plop.
Also, him doing it to himself ultimately, like they drive him to destroy himself, which I think is so beautiful. They don't even have to lift a finger, really.
Yep.
Brilliant.
I do love when a woman humiliates a man. Not saying that from any personal other movie experiences.
You sure about that? Sure, Jim.
That's right. Whatever way you want to take that.
All right. Does anyone have anything to add to this before we move on?
I mean, sometimes that is the only way you get justice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember if I said this on the podcast or if I was talking to a friend out loud about this, but we are taught that revenge is bad. Despite so many movies where revenge takes place and, like in this one, Meredith's going to be good. She didn't do fucking shit.
Nope.
He killed himself with that thing after trying to kill her.
Also, their dead body is there.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a tiger.
Yeah.
Yep, it was a tiger.
There was a tiger in the woods of upstate New York.
Lions, tigers, bears. They all are in the woods, right?
Westchester tiger.
Yes, the Westchester.
Nassau County.
I think that revenge...
the Sleepy Hollow
yes,
tiger.
There we go.
Yeah.
I think revenge is something that can be good. There are people in my life that I would love to get revenge on, my mother being at the top of that list. Am I going to do that? No, because I fear legal repercussions and because I'm a trans woman and if I get thrown in jail, I am absolutely fucked. I don't want that to happen. But I know that as someone who has done a lot of work to be the best version of myself that I can be, to be kind and caring and really be there for the people in my life, I would have absolutely zero qualms morally taking revenge against my mother for everything she put me through in my life. And I wish that revenge was not treated as this moral failing. Because sometimes
the justice system is a failing.
The justice system is a moral failing because it's based on laws, not ethics. And morals and ethics are so separate from laws.
Thank you.
This is how I definitely was not chosen for jury duty when they say, can you uphold the law even if you don't agree with it? And I went, no, absolutely not.
I usually
don't
just say I
care
know
about
how
that.
investigations go and I don't trust the cops. Also, I know the guy who runs your FOIA office. Hi, Doug.
Just some name dropping real quick.
Yeah,
and that'll get you booted real quick from jury duty.
Well, speaking of Doug, let's play a game.
Hello. You don't know me, but I know you. I want to play a game.
Let's.
I don't know what the fuck that meant.
Hi, Doug. It's been great. He sent me stuff from really old files that was hard to get. So thank you, Doug.
Nice.
We love FOIA.
We do love FOIA. FOIA
Nickelodeon
girlies.
comes and sues us. All right, Caitlin, what's our game?
So I definitely forgot to write this down.
That's okay. If we don't have a game, we don't have to do it.
Okay.
Is it go out and kill a shitty man?
Of all the shitty men that we have covered, all the shitty men in a movie, like, so in movies, what is kind of like the first one that comes to mind that you're like,
Gaslight.
Yeah.
yeah, that you're vengeancing?
So I have one that comes to mind, and not because it's like the most flagrant example, but it's because it's more of like an insidious, like,
Yes.
like example, and it's one of my favorite movies. I think his name is Carl Gluskin is the actor, in Watcher.
Yes.
Micah Monroe.
Yeah.
He is her husband, and basically like it's like the most subtle gaslighting and like the most like invalidating a partner could be. And like the more I watch it, the more I find reasons to like think he is the worst type of man and the worst type of partner, just because like in an unfamiliar space where your partner doesn't even speak the language that you speak and everyone else speaks, like you can't even be bothered to like take the ride with her as she's kind of going through, even if it was just you know her being displaced from what she's used to and going through it, and it's very emotional. Like, okay, like that's your fucking partner and you moved to a new country. Like that will forever like kill me. Just kind of like that spineless type of partner. I think that's the worst type of man.
I love that movie, and that's one that I really want to cover on here sometime. Maybe we should
Invite me back when you do. It's one of my favorites.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Let's do that on a Patreon episode
Yeah.
because we have our entire schedule planned out through the end of next December for our main feed because we're ridiculous.
Being on it, good for y'all.
Yeah.
Which also, feel free to look through that list and choose something else.
Yes, please.
There's a whole tab.
Yeah, we're not done yet, but we already want to have you.
right.
So that's a good sign.
No, this has been fun, but yes.
But yeah, no, I love Watcher, and I'm with you on that one. For me, it's probably Tyler in The Menu.
Oh.
Like,
Yeah, fuck him.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Fuck him.
I cannot tell you how hard I laughed when they show that shot that he hanged himself.
Yep.
Because, like, death by hanging, generally not that funny.
No.
But in this case, I was like, oh, I'm so glad he's dead. And I'm so glad that whatever Chef Slowick said to him was so bad that it made him go kill himself.
Well, okay, do
he
you
still
know-
deserves punishment.
What a little
Do you know why autoerotic asphyxiation became a common-ish kink?
Because
people are.
I was
horny.
like,
No. So here's what gave
I'm trying not to make a David Carradine joke right now.
Here's what gave them the creativity for this. We used to have a lot of, I don't mean we as in the US, I mean historically, there used to be a lot of public hangings. Something happens to bodies with penises when they are hanged because of gravity and all the things in your body just changing, and a lot of those bodies would become erect. So people would see this and go, this gives me ideas, and you're welcome for this historical fun fact.
Cool.
I learned so much from you today.
Full of fun facts to
I'll be
know
here
and
all
learn.
night. Fun facts that go nowhere. My brain is just
Or just
a well
facts.
of fun facts.
I am a lifelong learner,
Hard
and I will
facts.
absorb every little fact. You never know when you need
This
it.
is definitely hard
Caitlin,
facts.
did you answer?
Hard facts.
Did you answer your own question?
I didn't.
Hard facts.
Hard facts. Yes, I get it.
Caitlin's
see
the
what you
punny
mean.
Yeah,
one,
no,
and
this
I
is
get it.
definitely. I have not. I'm going to say if it's movies that we covered, I hate Albert so much from The Cook, the Wife, the Thief, her lover, his lover, everyone's lovers. I hate him. He nearly ruins the movie for me. I want him to die. I want someone to shove some papers into his mouth like that guy.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, let's categorize this thing.
Good for her.
Good for her.
That's
Good
a pleaser.
for
I'm
her.
almost a pleaser.
Good for
Oh, yeah.
her.
This is absolutely a pleaser.
Total
for me.
pleaser.
And even though she's only in it briefly, there is a queer character. And
Yes.
I love that her friends are jealous of her and her hot partner's relationship.
That they have the good relationship. So it's
Yep.
also queer.
Yep. Cool. Anyone have any final thoughts?
Good for her. Fuck Athena. Thank you.
I just wanted to mention the Onibaba influence. I've read up on this a lot, and I've also watched some of the special features on the Blu-ray, and Travis talks openly about his inspirations. The New York Ripper by Fulci is the specific giallo that he was inspired by. But he also talks about Onibaba and that it's these two women out in the woods getting revenge, and a lot of the score was inspired by that as well. And Vol, the person behind Vol, had not seen Onibaba, so Travis showed it to them, and they were touring or recording with the band The Crystal Method and playing a taiko drum. And so they got extra studio time to record themselves playing the taiko drum to use on this score. Because if you haven't seen Onibaba, if you haven't heard the score, it is pretty much all percussion. There is almost no melody in it. And it is incredible. The atmosphere that it builds, the tension that it holds, just magnificent. And I really feel like they did a good job bringing that into this movie.
Oh, the score in this is fantastic. It is so good. It's so atmospheric. It's one of those things where you're wondering, was that sound design or was that score? And I say that in a complimentary way.
Oh, yeah. That's one of my favorite things that a film can do. And, you know, my dream job is doing sound design and score for movies and to be able to combine the two.
That is so interesting because obviously, I'm just going to tell people if they don't know that, I mean, Japanese theater and folklore is
kabuki
full of vengeful women. All of vengeful
And
women.
masks.
And masks.
Yes.
It's also got masks.
Yeah. If
And
also,
shadow play.
if you haven't seen Onibaba, go watch Onibaba. I'm pretty sure it's on HBO Max. I'm pretty sure it's on the Criterion channel. The Blu-ray is incredible. Yeah, Onibaba, Koroneko, and The Snow Woman. Also, all excellent, all beautiful revenge tales. All right. Well, I guess it's time to wrap up with what awaits us next time.
Don't you see? He's got us now. Okay, this is exactly what he wants. We can't go to the police, not now. He's made sure of that. He's just out there and he's watching us and waiting. What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for?
And that brings us to the end of our episode. Thanks so much for joining us on this journey, fellow Erinys. If you like what you hear, please leave us a rating and review wherever you can, because it helps more people find the show and it makes us all tingly inside. You can find us on Instagram at Pleasers and Punishers and on Blue Sky at Pleasers Punishers. You can also email us at pleaserspunisherspodcast@gmail.com. You can find me on Blue Sky and Letterboxd at Everson Poe. You can find my music on Ampwall, Bandcamp, and streaming services as Everson Poe, 2 separate words. Check out my album Servant. It's not one of my favorites. Unfortunately, the person who did vocals on it is no longer a part of my life, but I still think it's a solid album, and other people seem to really, really love it. So that makes me very happy. And you can also hear me podcasting on Tender Subject and Slayerfest 98. Caitlin?
Oh, I thought you were going to say the whole thing, and I was like, what?
Oh,
no, you don't have
Caitlin,
to.
where can you be found on the
You
internet?
don't have to say it. Yeah, I'm just like, uh-huh. Yeah.
Caitlin, yeah, that's me.
I'm here. I can be found at Caitlin of the North on Threads and Instagram, Cat of the North on Letterboxd. You can also hear me popping up sometimes on People Under the Scares' Buffy Watch Along, Fuck My Hellmouth, and I believe it will be out at least by this point, but I am guesting on an episode of Midnight Mass with Peaches Christ and Michael Verratti, talking about whatever happened to Baby Jane, one of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh, how fun.
I'm doing it in mid-July for Clue, and I'm so excited.
Great selection, so.
Thankfully, we've had Peaches on this podcast, so I'm a little less afraid now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you weren't on when Michael was on
No,
with us.
this was before I
Michael's
joined.
delightful. If you can handle Peaches, you can handle
But Michael and I have like,
oh, yeah.
Michael and I have like messaged each other for a while back and forth anyway,
Yeah.
so I'm like a little less.
But Peaches loved you when she was on, so I think you're good. And Amanda, where can you be found?
Yes, I can be found on Instagram, Blue Sky, and TikTok at Amanda Jane Stern. I can also be heard podcasting on Murder Made Fiction, and you can find me on Letterboxd at Witchy Wanderer.
Excellent. And Ari, where can people find you and your writing?
Yeah, so you can find me on socials at the Ari Drew, TheAridrew, on Instagram, Blue Sky, Letterboxd, others that I'm sure I have accounts on that I don't use anymore. I'm not as active as I once was, but definitely still read messages and try to engage a little bit. And if you want to read anything I've written as far as editorial stuff, interviews, reviews, you can find my articles over at bloodydisgusting.com. And occasionally I will pop in on my partner's lovely podcast, Horror Queers, that I know folks here have heard or been a part of before.
Never heard of.
Some podcast.
What? I've definitely not been on that show twice.
Nope. I haven't only discussed old movies with them.
And everything I tend to discuss with them is like super depressing and such a drag, and I love it. So that's my vibe.
And the only 2 episodes I've done are the 2 Redux episodes on the Perfection and Jennifer's Body.
Well, now every time they do a pre-code movie, they reference shit that I've told them.
I was going to say, I bought Personal Shopper, Ari, because I bought that one, because I was like, you are correct.
Fuck yeah. I just showed someone that for the first time actually last week, and she loved it, and it was
I still need to watch it.
Oh, please do. I think there's a lot for you to like there.
Yeah,
but
no, they reference my Dorian Gray episode when there's an erroneous female love interest character in a queer-coded movie to be like, well, is she as bad as Gladys? Because we know Amanda really hated Gladys. And the amount of times I'll just be listening to them and hear them go, Amanda and Gladys. I'm like, what?
I'm telling you, everyone learns from you. These little tidbits, keep rolling them out.
Yep. All right. And since this is our first month on Patreon, we're being a little more generous because we want you to join us. So signing up even at the $1 tier this month gets you our first full-length bonus episode, which is on Obsession, as well as our first interview episode with filmmaker Robbie Jo Banfitch. And if you've heard our episode on The Outwaters, you know that I love that movie. I am so excited to talk to Robbie, and it's going to be good. It's going to be a really good conversation. So if you want the newsletter, the bonus minisodes, interviews, full-length episodes, and even our lingerie live streams, you should head over to patreon.com/podcastperverts and sign up now. We're not skimping out on you unless we're in our lingerie. And next week's episode on the main feed will be on Robert Eggers' The Witch.
Yes! I mean, this is, come with us to see what we went into this wilderness to find.
Wouldst thou like to live deliciously?
Oh, girl,
Wouldst thou like the taste of a Crunchwrap Supreme?
As a hedge witch myself, this is going to be quite the episode, so...
Oh, I am so excited, and we have a very special guest joining us for that one. But until then, do some aftercare, clean your toys, set healthy boundaries, and...
No matter how good the dick is, do not absolve men for their transgressions against you.
Yes!
Had $1 million. And oh, baby, you had none. I had $1 million. And oh, baby, you had none. I would keep 999. And oh, baby, I would give you one.